Family. It's the first people we are surrounded by in this world, and usually the first ones we rely on in times of need. Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, grandparents, it's something pretty much all of us can relate to, whether good or bad memories come to mind. This week, we dive into what the family truly represents, not only in society, but in God's eyes as well. Family. Family is the first place children find out about love and companionship. Parents can set a good example for their children to follow in their footsteps. Families help grow community, and it's safe to say are the backbone of any successful civilization. The first two key elements of the family are marriage and parenthood. Marriage represents the love between husband and wife, giving a glimpse of Christ's passion and devotion to us, while parenthood offers a compelling image of God's patience and affection towards us as His children. I would simply say, let's take a look at what the Bible has to say about family, but there's so many verses depicting the underlying importance of the family that we would be here all day. In the interest of staying on topic, we are going to start with the most basic example of the importance of the family: the Ten Commandments. Two of the Ten Commandments specifically underline the importance of keeping and, more importantly, maintaining the family. Let's start with the fifth commandment: honor your father and mother. Nowhere else in the Bible does God command us to honor anyone else except our father and mother. To honor the father and mother means to respect their wishes and comply with obedience when they ask for something from you, due to the role that they play. The role is immensely important in teaching children the proper way to act. As you may be able to tell, leaving children to their own free will might be one of the worst things you could do for them, as they always tend to lean towards bad things. Parents also serve to teach their kids affection and patience. To let the child see that you love them. To not only look after their bodies, but to look after their soul's best interest. But most importantly, to teach them about the Bible and Jesus. The Bible teaches adults and children alike about sin and the consequences it possesses. It teaches forgiveness and how Jesus died for us and no one else. As you may be able to tell, this is a massive responsibility parents have to undertake when parenting their children, understanding they have to raise them to the appropriate criteria. When you look at parenting from this angle, it shows why children should have the utmost respect and understanding for their parents and the job they have. You may ask, why am I going so far into this? The family is the backbone of any society. The fifth commandment fossilizes the law of children respecting their father and their mother to further stabilize and preserve the structure of the family. Moving on to the next commandment, we look at the seventh commandment about prohibiting adultery. Now, I won't go too in depth on this one because I believe it is better suited for another episode due to the weight it carries, especially in today's society. But looking at the commandment, though it is clearly designed to forbid sexual, even overly intimate relationships with others outside of marriage, it is also designed in mind to keep and make sure the family stays intact. Anything that threatens the family unit is prohibited in the Bible. Without the family, you cannot pass on cultural and societal values from generation to generation effectively. This unit is designed to allow children to grow up in a safe and loving environment that best gives them the chance to pass these traits on to future generations. As you can now begin to see, God holds these values in deep regard and understands the necessity for the family. Family brings real depth and real love into the world, having the opportunity not only to create life, but bring the child into a loving family that can best prepare them for their future. Ephesians 6:1-4 sums it up about as good as you can get. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and you may enjoy a long life on the earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. The verse describes how parents and children both have a role to play in delighting in all the good a family can bring into the world. To wrap this up, I'm going to give you guys some advice. The family is a gift given to us. Not just the opportunity to start one, but even for the child, having an opportunity to grow up in a world where they are looked after from the start and guided in the right direction, so they have the best chance to achieve success, whatever that may be. Though we live in a world filled with divorced parents and lost children, the family stands as a beacon of hope that we can keep growing through each other into a better society. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode about the family, and I hope to see you next week.